The suffering of children is one of the hardest to witness, but if we don't open our eyes, it can't change. Trapped in poverty, conflict and broken economies, children are forced into impossible situations, to beg, to work, risking their lives, even to sell themselves. Children are more vulnerable to exploitation, abuse, violence, malnutrition and injustice than any other group. Nabila lives in Sylhet. She has no father, and living in the rural area of Shanamgonj with only her mother to protect her means she is vulnerable. One terrifying night, while they were sleeping, drunk men broke into the house. Rabia tried to defend her children, but the men tortured and beat her, leaving her children at the mercy of the men. The men kept returning, shouting and taunting them, so Rabia married her eldest child to a local man, just to protect her from future abuse. We had to intervene, as we have for thousands of women across Bangladesh. To help the child, we need to help the whole family. So we gave Rabia training in handicrafts, set up a savings account for her, and linked her with a market seller to sell her crafts. It's taken work, but she's back on her feet. Now Nabila goes to school. The risks of living in the rural areas are still there, but the hope is that in the future, Nabila's education will mean she gets out of poverty, so she is less vulnerable to abuse. It isn't just children in the rural areas that suffer. The slums of the world hold thousands of children who are living in dangerous environments. Hamida lives in the slums of Dhaka. Her home is a corrugated box, barely bigger than her bed, and she shares a toilet with 200 other people. She's alone most of the time. Her father left her, and her mother works as a maid all day, coming home in the night for just a few hours while Hamida is asleep. We enrolled Hamida into one of our girls' schools. The school has an incredible 100% pass rate, higher than the government schools, and 3 children graduated this year with A grades. And all of these children are from the slums. And an education isn't all that Hamida gets. She gets hygiene training, a school meal each day, and most of all, in school, she's safe. Islamic Relief is helping thousands of children around the world to get an education. In the last 30 years, we have educated over 600,000 children, and together we now sponsor 38,000 orphans in 24 countries. Muhammad Al-Sadiq is from Rawalpindi. He was sponsored from 8 years old when his father died. He is now studying a degree in mathematics, and after his PhD, he hopes to be a professor and teach others. Not all children are as lucky as Muhammad. This is Shazeb. He's only 6, and he's struggling to survive in the slums. His home has no running water or heat, and when it rains heavily, feces rush into the house, putting him at risk of disease. To add to his problems, he's an orphan. His mother is disabled, and she can't work. Without support, how will children like this get out of their situation? We have to help them. This is their right. Your zakah is more than just a donation. It means food, it means water, it means more lives changed, it means more lives saved. Please, donate to Islamic Relief. Now. Islamic Relief. Faith-inspired action.